evening from Downing Street, where campaigning started officially earlier today in one of the most unpredictable elections of recent times.
Years ago, he promised sunshine. Today, he offered what he called a good life.
So what are the goodies that David Cameron is wooing us with? What'll they cost and how will they be financed?
Where is this magic money tree? Where are you hiding it? I think the viewers have a right to know. Where is it?
It's called economic competence.
There are two deficits, right? There's the current one, which you say you're going to get rid of, and there's the other one left, the capital one. How much, within 10 billion, do you expect to be in that second glass?
We're not going to play your game with the glass of water. It's very inventive. Well done.
Why are you not sharing a platform with Ed Miliband? Is he intimidated by your past electoral success, or is he embarrassed by your current reputation?
We're a party that can do them more than one thing at once.
When you offered a referendum, you took the easy option. You bought off the Scots, and you have put the nation at risk as a result.
No, I reject that.
Lord Forsyth said you are continuing to put the nation at risk by stoking nationalist feelings in Scotland.
I don't accept that. I'm fighting the nationalists.
Victoria, we have a corker of a breaking story exactly on the Ed Balls announcement. And Dara Corcoran asked Ed Balls, do you want to scrap the status, the non-dom tax status? And Ed Balls says to him, no. In other words, exactly the opposite of what he's saying today.
Go on, Elwyn, get in the middle. Come on, Chad, back and face.
And on the touchline,
Go on, Elwyn.
a rather enthusiastic dad.
Oh, great save.
Would you go for a third term?
No, I think, I'm standing for a full second term. I'm not saying all Prime Ministers necessarily definitely go mad.
There is a horrible, horrible rumour going around Westminster that actually, although you may disagree on various things, you get on very well. Is that true?
Well, no, I think, I think we do get on reasonably well.
We spent so much time on this sofa
I wouldn't say
over the years.
I wouldn't say we're the best of friends.
The World at One. The Health Secretary tells us if the NHS needs more money, the Conservatives will fund it.
If it needs 8 billion, we'll find that. If it needs more than 8 billion, we'll find that.
Pretty doesn't want to work with Neil, and Neil does want to work with Pretty if he gets half a chance. Gareth doesn't want to work with Simon, but thinks that he might.
Well, they won't miss it, and Simon desperately wants to work with Gareth. He'll work with Pretty almost as happily if that's the way it should come.
We're going to be talking about all of that for the next 4 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Does that all make sense, Joe?
I can help Labour be bolder to deliver real change for people right across this country. Don't turn your back on that head and let David Cameron back into Downing Street.
I've got fundamental disagreements with you, Nicola.
So you abuse immigrants and those with HIV and then complain that UKIP is being abused.
Is the job of the National Health Service to look after people here, or is it to be an international health service?
What is the difference between a target and a cap?
You cannot have a cap for net migration because you cannot, as a government, stop people leaving the country.
Why bother using numbers then?
Well, it's the government that have done this.
You talk about this Australian system as the ideal. Of course, that is one that includes a points-based system and a cap. What is your cap on people coming then? Do that part, because you've accepted that's possible. What is your cap on people coming in?
Well, it is below 50,000 a year.
Can you foresee a situation where you would prop up a Labour government if Labour did not have the largest number of seats?
If there is an anti-Tory majority, my offer to Labour is to work together to keep the Tories out.
The other parties are saying the Conservatives are planning huge cuts.
Imagine that public spending is a delicious, gigantic £746 billion pizza. While the pizza as a whole is just 3% smaller, spending by government departments, which is about half the pizza, they are 10% smaller.
But what if the polling agencies have got it just a little bit wrong? And they have been known to do that before. Let me show you the historical record the polling agencies have through the last 5 general elections, going back to 1992.
You're promising £12 billion cuts to the welfare bill. You've told people about £2 billion, and you won't tell voters the details of the rest because...
Well, we've gone into some detail, as you say.
Is there anyone here who thinks, as a voter, they're entitled to hear the details?
Yes! Yeah, well...
The fact is, university is free at the point of use here in the UK. The system we have is in effect a graduate tax. Nobody pays £9,000 straight up. So every single politician who's turned around and said, you know, working class people can't afford university, you've just lied.
It's been really difficult. I've been going from party to party to party.
I think it's been great, this election. It's got people talking.
I mean, telling lies is a bad thing, but actually having a coherent message...
That's good to know.
But having a coherent message is a good thing. But having a coherent message is a good thing.
I mean, if your party is obliterated in the election...
It won't be.
If it is,
it won't
will
be.
it...
I don't want to hand on a country to my child where there are 1 million using food banks.
It's important that they're there, but I don't want anyone to have to rely on them.
The most important thing... You're Prime Minister and they do.
How can you stand there and say you didn't overspend and end up bankrupting this country? That is absolutely ludicrous. You're frankly just lying. Sorry.
I mean, it's more like Monty Python politics, all that.
Tim Murphy has been here now for about 15 or 20 minutes, but to be honest, we've not been able to hear anything that he's said.
It's a remarkable degree of aggression. This sort of street nationalism is unacceptable.
This was a leader clearly stung by the accusation that his campaign lacked passion.
Taking a risk, having a punt, having a go, that pumps me up.
A very good evening from the BBC's election studio.
Nick Clegg had a very early start.
5 a.m. We started at Land's End, not a huge number of voters around.
And he just said, look, the commentary on what happens after the election will have to wait.
What David Cameron is trying to do now is just to fight all out.
Here it is, 10 o'clock, and we are saying the Conservatives are the largest party. Remarkable, this exit poll. The Conservatives on 316.
Sensational, David. An extraordinary night, if that exit poll is right.
You see David Cameron there, just looking rather thoughtful about what happens next.
This exit poll is right, Andrew. I will publicly eat my hat on your programme.
And I won't eat my hat, but I will eat my kilt.
That's an extraordinary swing. They'll be hanging their heads in pain and gloom and despair.
Here in Scotland, just one Lib Dem seat, one Labour seat, one Conservative seat. The rest has gone yellow.
We are seeing the entire shape of British politics changing before our eyes.
This compares the exit poll with the 2015 results, and I cannot tell you how nervous all of us were going on air last night with an exit poll that we almost couldn't get to grips with.
This general election has produced quite a remarkable story. A surprise in many areas, a nasty shock for lots of people, and there will be many familiar politicians who are no longer in the House of Commons. David Cameron, against all the predictions of the polls, has led his party to an outright victory. Conservatives are now back in government.